Hello, I'm Andrea Jones with TractionTank, and I'm here today with co-founder Eric Morrow. Eric is an expert in digital marketing for startups and teaches digital marketing, product design, and market traction testing at prominent U.S. and international accelerators, including General Assembly and Google in New York City, Hubba in Bangkok, and Le Campagne in France. He's also the author of Digital Marketing for Everyone and the Lean Accelerator. What is TractionTank?
Yeah, so TractionTank is a startup accelerator designed to reward startups that gain market traction. And the goal of the accelerator is to allow as many startups that prove market traction to join, and rather than having the high touch experience that a lot of other startup accelerators use, to having a geography or a physical presence that other accelerators use, this is going to be more of a virtual presence. And the main key for a mission is proof of market traction. And what TractionTank is going to be providing is the skills and the abilities and the tools to help startups get better at finding market traction. So we'll provide the digital training, we'll provide some of the cash to get startups moving and talking to their customers using digital tools. So TractionTank is an early stage startup accelerator. And the main purpose of it is to change the way that startups get admitted to accelerators. Normally, a group of very smart startup people review applications and decide which startups they think are most likely to succeed. The only problem with that theory is the vast majority of startups, even given money, resources, mentors, spaces to work, still don't succeed. So what's missing? We think rather than trying to use our intellect and brain power and our experience to select startups to join the accelerator, we're going to purely use evidence and market traction. Why? Because at the very early stages of a startup, interest in what the startup is doing is probably the best predictor of success. So we're going to remove everything else and purely allow startups to join our accelerator when they prove that they have traction.
What are the components of the accelerator?
Well, at the moment, the main components of the accelerator are the digital training tools, on the digital tools that most startups can use to find evidence and market traction. So for example, how to use landing pages and registration pages, how do you test your idea using Facebook ads or Google ads, and other components of the internet that people can use, for example, forums, to see whether or not anyone's interested in what they're doing. The second main component is getting startups onto a weekly cadence. So very much in the same spirit of Agile, the best way to keep moving forward and keep making progress is to develop a regular cadence of trying to accomplish a certain amount of work every single week. And so all startups in the accelerator will follow that cadence. And I would say the last major component is forming teams. So as startups join the accelerator and they get their traction scores, well, we'll start grouping them into cohorts, essentially, so that startups can work with other startups who are at a similar stage of market traction, rather than purely working with people who joined at the exact same moment that they joined. I would say the last component, and maybe the most exciting for startups, is that when traction scores get over a certain point, that will lead to introductions to venture capitalists, so that when the startup has proven market traction and shown that this is a product or service worth developing, then they'll be able to get the money to be able to pursue it.
Great. And so what do I need to do to be admitted to TractionTank?
It's a fairly simple application process. The main thing that you'll need to do right off the top is to submit a proposed traction test. Because traction testing is relatively novel for most early stage startups, we want to see that the founders can put themselves in the mindset of traction testing rather than product development. Once they do that, they'll get admitted to a very early stage of the accelerator where they get access to some digital training resources, and then they'll have to go and successfully run a test in the marketplace. When they come back with that successful test, then they'll have the opportunity to fully join the accelerator, where they'll access the rest of our resources in exchange for a small slice of equity.
Great.